All right, we're going to talk a little bit about pain versus injury. So when you pick up a pain, playing sports, working out, whatever that may be, how do you know to just push through it, wait some time, suck it up, versus when to get that pain or issue looked at?
It's always kind of a sticky situation. I would say most of the time, if it's a true injury, you know it. There's usually some sort of other bad sign, symptom, something that goes along with it. But not always. When we're talking about the suck it up and fight through it, that a lot of times can end up making things way, way worse. And the idea is not to do that. I would say in general, if there's a concern, get in, let us check it out, and we can tell you what it is. However, there's a lot of things that may look and feel like an injury, and that's probably, a lot of them are just your nervous system trying to protect you, whether that's from a lack of stability, a lack of mobility, or a lack of being able to control the movement that you have. A lot of times the body will just completely cramp up or feel like it's really pulling in different areas, and that's a way for the body to protect you. So that just tells us that there's something else going on along the chain somewhere. You know, a car with a rattly engine, you can turn up the volume on the radio and make the noise of the engine go away, but at the end of the day, the engine probably needs to be dealt with. So if something's lingering, nagging, not getting better, or getting worse with time, in spite of doing all of the things that you find on YouTube or TikTok to do, because we have that conversation all the time of people finding things online to combat injuries or pain or whatever the case may be. If none of that's working, get in, get it checked out. I will also say that not everything needs an X-ray and MRI, and those are images, and they are not perfect images. They a lot of times paint part of the picture, but at the end of the day, we treat patients, not pictures. And there's been 3 or 4 in the last couple months that have had a negative X-ray that we are still finding stuff either with diagnostic ultrasound, or the X-ray doesn't find the issue until a few weeks later once the bone is showing signs of healing. So that can be certainly a thing that they're not perfect. The MRIs are also, the standard is 90% accurate, and so they sometimes miss things. And so always running to get that first is also not a great option, because it kind of misses the point. So yeah, just listen to your body. It will usually tell you if there's a big problem or if you need to get something addressed a little bit more, or if it's something that you can kind of chill with and deal with.
How long should someone wait to get it checked out?
It depends what it is. If you're having trouble walking, if you're having trouble throwing, catching, doing all that, if you're having trouble doing the daily activities without a problem, you should probably get that checked out. If it only bugs you while you're doing certain things and not everything, then maybe that's something that you just work with a little bit of time, doing the stretching, activation drills, whatever the case may be. It's hard to say, and it's a case-by-case basis, but I mean, we see people all the time who will have something happen and absolutely flip out because their brain says this is a big problem. And a lot of times that's because they've had big problems before, and the amygdala, the little part in your brain that does all the filtering will say, danger, 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 this is bad. But in all reality, it's probably not as big of a deal as one might think. So, yeah. Case-by-case basis, if you have any questions, please reach out, and we'd be happy to walk through that process.
Should kids seek out let's say they're a high school or college athlete, as soon as they pick something up, should they try to go see their athletic trainer or doctor that's on staff or anything like that?
Yeah, and I've seen and heard of a lot of cases where the high school or college athletic trainers will get irritated with people at times because they bring in a variety of issues. And my general thought on that is I would rather look at it and tell you it's nothing than you assume it's nothing and it become a big problem later. Because I can think of a couple that we're seeing right now that got kind of brushed off, and now it's all of a sudden a big nasty problem of a couple of fractures or some deep bone bruises and things that just kind of got ignored, and now we've got bigger problems. So I would always say err on the side of going in, getting it double checked, because it may save you time in the long run. And if your athletic trainer gets irritated with you, just explain to them that you're trying to save them work in the long run.
Mm-hmm.